Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Daryl.
And this is episode 471. The Bondsman, the Devil, and the Holy Hand Grenade. I'm moving your score there. All right. All right.
Okay.
So we have a big episode this week. We each went and saw a different movie. We're going to do mini reviews of them. We're going to review Daredevil Born Again, the finale, and then talk about the season as a whole. We're going to talk about season 1 of The Bondsman, Bond, Bondsman, The Bondsman on Amazon Prime, starring Kevin Bacon. And yeah, should be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
So, how are you?
It is the Wednesday hump day before WrestleMania.
It is WrestleMania week. I'm very excited. I have canceled all plans for the weekend. I'm probably gonna order like a pizza and go get some like crumble cookies or something.
Crumble.
Like that.
Crumble cookies. Oh, yeah.
Well, because they have carrot cake this week.
They have carrot cake cookies?
No, they have a carrot cake. So they do little cakes and little pies from time to time. And I actually like the little. I like the cakes more than I like their cookies.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get one of those. But yeah. Anyway, it's a fun week. We watched The Bondsman. I think, when did you finish it?
I finished it a couple days after you did.
Okay. So I like poured through this show. Like I started watching it one morning at like 4:30 in the morning. Like it was a Saturday. I just woke up, and the next thing I knew, I'd watched the first half of the season. Because
I told you about it.
You did. You absolutely.
I
did.
find it hilarious. I told you about it. I was like, oh, and I'd only watched one episode, to be fair. And then the next time I talked to you, you're like, I'm on episode 5 or something. I'm like, dude, I haven't even watched episode 2 yet.
So, well, I woke up early. Nobody was awake. I really haven't just sat down and watched TV like that in a while. So
yeah,
I thought, why the hell not? Just keep watching. I really enjoyed it. Kevin
and like
Bacon
you said,
awesome.
They were 30-minute episodes too.
Kevin Bacon is awesome. And then the I'm gonna have to pull it up. The guy that played Dewey Crow and Damon.
Oh yeah,
Damon Harriman. He played Dewey Crow in Justified. I really liked his character Lucky. I thought he was really kind of an interesting, the whole juxtaposition of the character. So, but we'll get more into that. And then you're doing a mini review on
King of Kings.
The King of Kings. Okay. Is it The King of Kings or just King of Kings?
Actually, I was just looking at it. Because I was checking to double check the King of Kings.
Okay.
The director, who's South Korean.
And is it time to play the game?
Well, and did you say what you're doing a mini review on?
Oh, well, I'm just saying, is it time to play the game?
Oh. No, but
I'm doing a mini review on the movie Warfare, which was
modern.
Yes, 2006. Mine was directed, actually co-directed by a guy named Ray Mendoza, who is one of the survivors of the real events of Warfare, and Alex Garland, who directed
what did he direct?
Ex Machina. Arrival.
Oh yeah.
Or he maybe wrote Arrival. He is Alex Garland is prolific. He's definitely a great creator to watch. Here
Civil War.
Yeah. So he directed Ex Machina, Annihilation, Civil War, and Warfare.
28 Days Later. Sunshine.
He wrote 28 Days Later.
Oh, wrote. He wrote.
Or sorry, 28 Years Later.
Yeah.
There's one called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. There's a sequel to 28 Years Later already in the works.
What?
I'm super excited. I haven't seen it, but but he also wrote and produced Dread and was the uncredited director, by the way.
Which I did not know that
Yeah,
until
but
now.
he works with Danny Boyle on the 28 Days, 28 Weeks, 28 Years Later. So yeah. So it's pretty exciting. So anyway, all right. Do you want to just hop right in to King of Kings?
Yes. I'm
And
sorry. Yeah, because
take it
I'm like
away.
looking at
Take
some
it
of this
away.
stuff with Garland. He was a
Oh,
cartographer of the
oh, for
beach
the
based
beach.
on
Yeah.
his novel,
Right.
which I did not know that was
Yeah.
he wrote a book.
So, and he's got like, I mean, I just talked about his movies. Like, there's a whole bunch of like, not a whole bunch. There's, I guess just one. Oh, he did. Oh my God, he did Devs. Did you ever watch that on Amazon
No,
Prime?
I remember that
Or
show
not
though.
Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
I
Hulu
remember
with
it.
Nick Offerman. Highly recommend. Actually, I cannot recommend Devs enough. It's super
I'm
weird.
almost positive you've mentioned it to me
Yes.
before back in the day.
Yes. So,
I'm like positive you have.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, all right. So, get to it.
all right. So originally, I know we had talked about like maybe going to see The Amateur,
Mm-hmm.
but for whatever reason, I was going to see two movies like Saturday and Sunday. I decided to see this, and I didn't go see a movie Sunday. Now, The King of Kings is based on, it features Charles Dickens and his son, and he's basically telling his son the story of Jesus as, what the importance of it, and just it's so funny because the first 10 minutes of this movie, it's like you're in a different movie because it's like doing the stage play of A Christmas Carol, and I'm thinking, is this how it's going to be? But you come to find out that having the kid and his cat, there's a cat in it too. So
Is the cat in
mischievous
Goose?
cat. No, I don't know. No, the cat. What is the cat's
Miss.
name? I can't think of the
Miss.
cat's
Massive
name on
miss.
top. But it's very important, and with animated, biblical tales, or with animated in general, if it's telling something that has seriousness in it and violence in it, you wonder how much they're going to sugarcoat. They did not sugarcoat this. I was pleasantly surprised with everything going through the Gospels, and if you've seen movies like any of the movies with with Jesus as the central figure, or like Greatest Story Ever Told, which I watched that like this past weekend for the first time in like 25 years. Um, again, this is a 90 no, it's about an hour and 45-minute movie, so it does kind of backpack fast track you through stuff, but as far as understanding the importance, as well as again integrating the kid into some of the stuff and the way they did it, and that's the thing, it wasn't just, I thought initially it was just going to all take place around that time, but it's more of a tale. Charles Dickens telling his youngest son about this, and there are moments where they're interspersed within everything going on, and that actually adds to it. And
Cool.
I mean, again, they were looking at it, from a child's perspective, and I think something like that would help keep the children engaged. It's also an Angel Studios movie, which I don't think I knew
I was
until
gonna
I went to
ask.
go see
I
it.
was gonna ask if it was Angel Studios.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, I don't think, until I went to go see it. So, but yeah, the animation is one of those that it's fine to me. Like some of the character models are kind of weird, but that's okay. But it's more about the fact that the way they tell the story, not just from an adult perspective, but like I said, they do such a good job of, because there were obviously a bunch of kids, and there was only like one kid that
Mm-hmm.
started. You know how kids, when they get antsy, start talking loud.
Right.
There was only one child. There was only one kid that did
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So this is, and again, this is around the Easter time. I'm a guy, I love going back and watching some of these old Easter movies like Ten Commandments, Spartacus, Ben-Hur,
Mm.
all of that stuff around this time. And so this is one of those
Shaun of
movies
the
that
Dead.
this is going to be one of those movies that's going to be on my list
Yeah.
to watch, randomly over, and maybe every other Easter. That's why I give it an 8 out of 10, just
Nice.
because one, it's from a kid's perspective, I think it does a good job keeping children engaged with Walter and his cat, but also not sugarcoating the story, and again, don't get me wrong, it's not Passion of the Christ violent or anything like that. but it does show the violence. It does show, the crown of thorns getting whipped, and having, stumbling around carrying the cross,
Oh,
and
cool.
it shows all of that. It shows the
Yeah.
centurions. It doesn't actually show the nails going into him, but it
That's good.
shows them with the hammer. And yeah, I mean that would have been a little traumatizing for many kids, but overall it does a very good job in the sense of telling a story that's serious, that's, been with us for thousands of years,
Mhm.
while also, and again, like I said, I was kind of worried they were going to sugarcoat things, and they did not. And the voice of Jesus was Oscar Isaacs, who
Oh, that's
does a
cool.
great job.
I like Oscar
He does a
Isaac.
very good job. Yeah, I do too.
So,
So 8 out of 10
nice.
is right now. It is my, again. I haven't. It's not like I've watched a lot of movies this year, but it's my highest rated movie thus far.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I guess it would be, wouldn't it? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
we're like
I only have like
sorely
6 or 7
lacking
movies.
in movie viewership this year so far.
Yeah, but again, look at last year and what happened to movies. I mean, it's
We tried to love the
we.
movies.
I mean,
We just
but
couldn't.
again, as we once we talk about the Bondsman, we'll show that
Yeah.
so far TV shows.
Yeah. Doing the same
I
thing.
mean, it's
Just like
yeah,
last year.
some
So
yeah.
cool. So yeah, I would definitely like. I don't know if I'd go to the theater to watch that, but I would definitely watch that.
Yeah,
So
but
and
it's so funny. At
and
first,
I would play
I was
Triple H's
very
music the whole time.
oh my god, of course you would. Yeah, the first few minutes, I'm like, I really said to myself, am I in the right movie?
Oh wow. Because
Because
it's
I
family
again,
friendly. It's like
well, no, because you start off with
yeah.
a play about the Christmas Carol,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
like, what is
Okay.
going on here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, and then again, I came in with the assumption that it was going to start off, back before his birth or something like that.
Hmm.
No, we got Charles Dickens
Yeah.
to start off.
Cool. All right. Let's hop over to mine. So I, like you, was gonna go see The Amateur last weekend, and I had asked Carlo if he wanted to go, and he said pass, because he apparently doesn't like Lawrence Fishburne. So I'm not sure. I
Um,
like I know I just like lose my
okay.
number. Um, but but then he shot back with, how about we see Warfare? And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what it is. I hadn't heard of it. Hadn't seen the preview. I didn't watch the preview until after I saw the movie. Um, I will say I am so happy I went into the movie without knowing anything about it.
Okay.
So this movie is a near real time depiction of what was called the Battle of Ramadi. So in November of 2006, there was a Navy SEAL team who was doing Overwatch for a Marine detail that was doing something in Ramadi. And they took over this house, and the Iraqis figured out that they were there, and they were like closing in, and there was this just, to quote Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints, there was a firefight. So anyway, but this movie is super intense. It's got a pretty great cast to it. I'll go through if I can get back over to it. Okay, so the main character was Will Poulter. He was the captain, officer in charge. The guy. So one of the guys who survived actually co-directed the movie with Alex Garland, a guy named Ray Mendoza, and he was played by Defero Woon Atai, who is on that show Reservation. Was it I don't. It's not Reservation Dogs. Oh no, yeah, Reservation Dogs from FX, which I don't know if you ever watched that show. It was pretty good. He played Bear. It had Charles Melton, Cosmo Jarvis, who you know,
I know.
your guy, John Blackthorne from Shogun.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it had Michael Gandolfini, who plays Blake on
Oh,
Daredevil. So
that's funny.
it was really 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 good. It also had Joseph Quinn in it as well. I forgot. But so these guys are there and they're working together, and like I feel like this is as real a depiction of like what could happen with these like super trained they planned for everything. Like one of the things that okay, the number one thing was like just how visceral it was. The number two thing was the sound. I know you're the sound design guy on this podcast, but the sound design of this movie, I mean, if it doesn't win the Oscar, I'd be shocked. It was so good, and then just the tension that built up throughout the movie. And I don't want to spoil like a lot of it, but it's beautifully shot. It's a lot of like single shot moments as they're going through and doing what they have to do as a team. That's like interspersed with like satellite view and things like that. One of the coolest things is like you don't ever see anyone actually get shot, and the vast majority of like the actual, you see people shooting, but like the vast majority of like the firefighting is like from the satellite like thermal view kind of a thing, or like night vision view. But yeah, it was really I don't know, it was just a really interesting movie that it's, how long is it? It's 95 minutes long, which is my perfect length of a movie. And it got to the end of the movie and you're like, wait, that's it? It's over? What do you mean it's over? I want to keep watching. Like, what's happening with these guys? But it was fantastic. Here's the thing though. I don't think I could ever watch it again.
Oh, really?
It's that intense. Like it was kind of uncomfortable, but it was also like heartbreaking and heartwarming, and like, really interesting to see all these guys and just how they work together. And then to learn that Ray Mendoza who was one of the characters in the movie, was the and survived, and he was able to direct it. One of the cool things was they did, like, some of the guys came back to the set like when the movie was going on, like the guy that played Elliot, who was Cosmo Jarvis's character, like the actual, like he was a sniper, and that the actual guy, like actual Elliot Miller, like rolled in and was like on set, and like, those guys were helping them, like, this is how you would react to this. This is how I reacted to this and why. So it was a really cool little thing at the end. The other fun thing is they showed the actor and they showed the seal next to each other, and probably half of the seals had their face blurred out because they're still active, and it's
okay, yeah.
almost 20 years later. So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, so here's the thing though, is I only gave it a 6.75 out of 10.
That's still a solid score.
It is.
Though.
It
I
is.
mean,
And it's a movie I really do like. I like how visceral it is. I liked the pace of it because it was just so frenetic. But at the end of the day, there's no actual story. Like the story is the story. Like the story is like the battle. Right. But much like I know people love Christopher Nolan. I hated Dunkirk because I didn't know anybody's name.
I thought Dunkirk was fine. Like, again, you're going with sound design. Dunkirk's sound design was spectacular.
Yeah, I agree.
But I will say, I don't like saying this because I feel it's tired when people say this. I was kind of bored watching that movie.
So it's just when you don't, like, when I'm watching a movie, I'm trying to like escape, right? And I want to find characters that I can attach myself to like get in and really like them. In this one, like Elliot was actually one of them, because like Elliot was he's the lead sniper. He's got a lot of time. He's one of the ones that gets injured. But at the end of the day, I was just kind of like, okay, I don't know. Like, I know Elliot and Tommy. I don't know anybody else's names. So it's just kind of that, because because there was no setup and you hopped right into it. The movie opens at night and they're like, hey, I like this house, let's take it, and they go through and
so it's nothing like, say, Lone Survivor, where you have a huge firefight and all that stuff, but you have 15 or 20 minutes to get to know these
Right.
guys.
Yeah. So it's not like that
Okay.
at all. It's like just
It's
hops
like
right in.
dropping you in.
But I
Okay.
will say this: go see this movie in the theater. If this is a movie that you're interested in seeing, and I do like war movies. I always have, whether it's bullets and rockets or swords and sandals. Like I'm a big fan of war movies. Seeing this in the theater is the way to watch this movie.
Okay.
So yeah.
And just as an not an addendum, but what you said, I still haven't seen the trailer. I saw a promo of it on TV. That's why I was like, "What is this movie?" But I have not watched a trailer of this movie. So and I won't.
And the trailer gives a lot away. The trailer does give a lot
based
away,
on what you said, I will not be watching the trailer until I see the movie.
I just think it's funny. We were gonna watch. We had talked about watching The Amateur so we could review it, and then neither of us went to see The Amateur.
I know
That's
kind of funny.
I mean that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Well, it was funny because I told you I was like, I went to see King of Kings, and you're like, great. I went to see Warfare.
So, yeah. Anyway,
sorry, Amateur.
Yeah, maybe next week. I don't know.
No, because it's WrestleMania. So,
it's WrestleMania weekend. So.
Okay, Santino.
What?
How does he say it?
WrestleMania.
Or John Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Mr. The Rock. Okay. If CM Punk wins, I riot, by the way. Anyway. All right. Let's.
How do you do it?
Anyway. All right. Let's move on. So CM Punk sucks balls. Anyway. Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 9, Straight to Hell. Matt faces off. It's Matt. It's the aftermath of Matt taking the bullet for Kingpin, and figuring out what really led to Foggy's murder. Because Vanessa, we learned, ordered Bullseye to kill Foggy. What else? There's Karen. Karen shows back up. There's a whole lot of Punisher. There's a whole lot of torture. Guy gets
martial law, city blackout.
Yeah, martial law, city blackout. Matt's trying to form an army, so hopefully they are able to get Mike Coulter and Kristen
Jessica
Ritter
Jones
back for Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
What about?
Oh, they should recast.
Then they absolutely should recast.
So let's get a real Danny Rand this time.
Yeah,
that kid who played Beast Boy in Teen Titans. He would be a great Danny Rand because he knows martial arts.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I like him.
He
was great. I really liked him.
Likable. He would actually be a great Danny Rand.
I would not have thought about him, but now that you say it, absolutely.
And I wish I knew his name, and I'm not going to bother to look it up. So
yeah,
so, someone has just asked ChatGPT at home. Anyway, okay, so let's just get this out of the way. Out of 5 broken batons, what do you give this episode?
2.75 out of 5.
Okay,
I was not too happy with this episode.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.2 out of 5, and I'm really considering lowering that to be below a 3. But I'm not, because I wrote down 3.2, and that's just, I mean, like it's already in there. So, you know, that was my score, and I can't change it now because you went lower, and I wanted to go lower, but I was like, if I go too low, he's going to yell at me and he might beat me. So I'm going to go 3.2. But this episode,
I was wondering, I was like,
what were you
because we didn't talk today, and I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if I didn't think you would like love it, but I was like, I don't know if he's gonna like it, think it's okay, or just think it's okay, or see the problems that I saw in it.
I liked everything with Kingpin.
I like the Kingpin stuff.
Everything with Kingpin.
I thought the Kingpin stuff,
even when he had the King Kong has nothing on me type of a speech in front of the task force as he was crushing the police chief's head into just
Mhm.
mush. Um, I I don't. I liked Matt when he was fighting. I liked Frank when they were fighting. When both of them were talking, I was like, I think I'm just gonna leave this playing while I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like it was just
I
not.
ac-
It was not good.
I actually did not like the fighting. I liked the choreography of the fighting. I did not like the execution because they went Zack Snyder
Oh,
with the
all the
fight
slow mo.
in match.
Yeah.
That was that was when I knew I was like, I'm not gonna like. I don't think I'm gonna like this episode because the choreography of that whole scene was well done, like the movements and the camera shots, but putting 80% of it what it seemed like in
Mhm.
slow motion really took a lot of the power from that scene away
So I'll
from
tell
me
you
for me.
why I liked the fighting because we actually got to see Daredevil fight.
Yeah, that's what
Which,
I mean. I like
I
the
mean, we haven't
choreography
like
of it.
when we saw Daredevil fighting earlier in the season. He was in a cloud and it was CGI, and it probably wasn't
Yeah,
Charlie Cox. Um,
correct.
but that being said, this was not a good finale. I feel like
No,
I feel like there was a like because like he had all like the vigilantes like in cages at the end. There was more, not all, but he had vigilantes in cages at the end. Karen didn't need to show up.
no,
And the whole
no.
like, oh, I heard you and I heard your hearts. I heard you're in Frank's hearts. And she's like,
It's
that's
like,
not
come
fair.
on,
It's like it's
come
actually
on.
super gay, Matt. Quit doing that shit.
Yeah, like
Uh,
stop. Yeah. And also, by the way, Miss or Dr. Glenn or Heather,
yeah.
like Matt's girl, it's like basically, she basically did an Anakin right
Mhm.
there, and like, you know what? I'm going to the dark side. I know what this guy's about, and I'm still gonna go there.
Well, yeah,
So,
because
you know what?
she's hungry for power.
Yeah, yeah. F you. Like,
So do it.
like, like you said, one of the things you said when we first before we started recording, is it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And it absolutely was.
Mhm.
And like I said, watching this, the more I watched it, the more I went through it. Because I watched the first half last night, and I'm like, okay, this is not doing it for me. Maybe the second half will be fine. So I watched the second half this morning. I just continue getting angry because, and again,
Yeah.
I've seen stuff far worse. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Marvel has done things that are
Oh yeah.
infinitely worse than this.
Captain
I'm not
Marvel.
saying it's bad, and yes, like
Oh,
I'm not
excuse
saying
me.
it's
The
bad in
Eternals.
that respect. Oh God, don't remind me.
Shang-Chi.
It was bad. You
Echo.
haven't even seen the
Oh,
Eternal,
I
so
haven't
you don't
seen
like,
Shang-Chi
and you
either,
haven't
or
been.
Echo.
Yeah,
So, and/or.
well, I didn't watch Echo,
But
but so this is why I'm angry with this.
yeah,
Not because it was awful, because it's not awful.
it's not
It's
awful.
not good,
No.
but it's not awful. It's not. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to sit here and say that. What I am going to say is this, for some reason, this put into focus how much of this is, you just said echo.
Mhm.
This whole season was an echo of the first three seasons of Daredevil
Yeah.
in the sense of it was trying to copy, but as echoes die down and they lose their form, they lose their power of that audible power as you go along.
Yeah.
That's what this episode did to me. Because the last few episodes we talked about, they got better and
Yeah.
better.
It
Yeah,
was.
it still wasn't great,
And
but it was better, and they were
here's
getting better.
here's the thing is when I looked at the runtime, it was like 57, 58 minutes long. I was like, holy
Mhm.
shit. They went like long for a finale because normally the finales for these Disney shows are like
Or-
14 minutes shorter than all the other episodes.
Yes,
And
yes.
like they just don't make any sense. I was like, holy shit, they're gonna give us something cool. Like maybe Luke Cage is going to show up. Like maybe a recast Danny Rand is going to show up. Maybe Kristen Ritter is going to show up because she's gorgeous and I just like to see her in things. But and she's a good actress. I really like her.
She was
But-
in Sonic 3, by the way.
Oh really? I still haven't watched Sonic 1 and 2.
Oh,
I've owned them for years.
Well, you have
I've owned them
Paramount
for years.
Plus is back, so Oh, you've
Oh
owned
no,
them?
I bought them. They were like, but it was both of them. It was buy them for like $9.99 for both of them, and I was like,
Oh,
done. Haley and I will watch it someday. You know, or maybe in 10 years I'll watch it with like grandkids or something. I don't know. But that being said, I was so disappointed with what we got from this
hmm
that because I had made the mistake, the rookie move, if you will. I had hope.
yeah, yeah, we both did, and I think that's why I'm angry
Yeah.
because like I said, the last few weeks we've been saying, okay, this was getting better. Okay, they're finding their feet again. It's not great, but it's still getting better, and that was the important thing.
Right. Right.
It's
Episodes 5 through 8 were really good. They were really fun to watch.
yeah, and again, like I said,
Episode
the
one,
most important,
not that great.
yeah, I think every episode got better,
Yeah. Until this,
and
where it just fell
till
off a
this,
cliff.
absolutely.
It's like they shot the show in the head and it fell off a cliff into cold water. So it's gonna come back next season and not remember anything that just happened. So that would be ideal. Anyway, all
Yeah.
right. For season 1, out of 10 conflicted Catholics in spandex, what do you give season?
6.25. Again, it's I could have I this is what I did. I at first thought about dropping it down to because of this episode down to a 5.5. But then I thought about it and I cooled off a little bit and I was like, okay, as much as this made me angry as and it does, don't get me wrong, it does color what came before it, but not to the point where I'm going to drop it below a 6. Again, people look at a 6.25. It's that means it's not bad.
Right.
It's a 6 point. It's not bad.
On our
I'm not going to
scale,
say
a
it's
6 is
yeah.
actually pretty decent. So.
Yes. Right.
Especially
Yeah.
because
It's
we don't compare things to each other. Like this isn't
right.
This actually, I'm not comparing this to the Netflix version when I've been scoring this. I've been scoring it
No, I haven't.
strictly on the merits of
What it is.
what it is.
Now we do a lot of callbacks to the original to make our points,
Right.
like saying it's like a shadow of that. But still, it got a 6.25.
Yeah.
That means they've done some things that we like, done some things that were very positive.
I
Don't
gave
get
it a
so
6.9 out of 10.
yeah, which is strong.
I
mean, that's
I loved the middle, like I loved the last third of the season without the finale. Episodes 5 through 8, I think are great television. I'll definitely like if I was just gonna be like, because sometimes I'll just go back and like watch an episode of something. I would definitely throw one of those 4 episodes on to check.
I could I could see myself doing that, but like this finale,
Yeah, I think
I won't be watching this.
I think part of the problem is the last 2 episodes were team directors and team writers, and I think there might have been just too many cooks in the kitchen for the finale.
And I will say this because I've not given you flack, but this is the first time where I thought to myself, and it's again the dialogue parts where Frank was too much. Out of all the times that he's been in,
like when
the
he's
first season of
when it looks like he's ripping somebody's skull or spine out of their back, when just because he like pulls the knife out so slow motiony. Yeah, that was a lot.
like that. This was the first time where I thought, and I wasn't a huge fan of the way that Bernthal played it this episode, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like again, he had a more subtlety. If you go back and look at the original Daredevil, even in his series, he had more subtle, like because obviously he was the focal point in the series. So especially season 1, but again, like from the series standpoint, a 6.25 and the 6.9 means they're doing something. They're doing something pretty decent. It's just
not only am I coming back for more, I'm excited for more. So
yeah, I and again, I'm not excited, but I'm hopeful. There's that word again.
See, I'm excited.
Because,
I'm not hopeful anymore.
yeah, because and I say this because it showed that at a point they, like I said, other than this episode, before this episode, for me, every episode got just even sometimes if even was like a micro better, it was still improving as the season went on. And
Remember,
my hope,
if you get 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you're 365% better.
this is true.
So,
So in that regard, my hope is that they look back at the at this season, they say, okay, this is what we did right. This is how we're going to improve season two, and we get even from the start a better season, season premiere than we got here. So
well,
that's my hope that they learn from their mistakes,
mhm,
from both of our scores, a solid
mhm.
performance, and it gets to that 7.5 to 8.
Oh yeah,
That's what I want,
yeah.
and I will be yeah.
Hopefully, what happens is they don't go and write a whole bunch of episodes and then film some of them and then throw all of that away.
Right. Yes.
So, anyway,
Which, on an aside, apparently the Bone Temple was filmed back to back with 28 years later.
Very cool because it said filming on his page. Anyway, all right, you ready?
Yes.
You ready to go straight to
For
hell?
Brimstone. For Brimstone. Oh, I'm sorry. The Bondsman.
Reaper. Anyway, the Bondsman, the show that I didn't know I really wanted, but here we have it, and it was a lot of fun. It's very low budget
Yes.
for some of it. Like the effects are actually really good. The makeup is really good. But like the rest of the show is like very low budgety, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a diss. It was. I'm trying to think of the best way to like. Yeah, I mean, like if you have seen Brimstone, the 1998 show about Peter Horton's character, who is a police detective who gets sent back from hell to stop 113 lost souls. It's like it's right there. It was good, and it's not like a ripoff of Brimstone or anything like that. It's because it's got a lot of comedic episodes to it. But at the end of the day, the power of this show was its cast.
Right. Yes.
So
And the family dynamic between I almost said Hutch,
Hub.
between Hub, with his mom, working with as bounty hunters, his ex-wife and their son, who, what is the kid's name? But he played, Will Robinson,
Oh,
and he's
Cade.
grown.
His name is Cade.
Kate, yeah. And the actor has grown like 3 feet since he was in Lost in Space.
Yeah, he's like 72 feet tall now. It's
Yeah.
insane. He I think he traded some magic beans for a cow, but he grew instead of the beanstalk. That's Maxwell Jenkins, by the way. I will say, so like Hub is like he's just a backwoods bounty hunter, and he is. The series opens where he's busting in on some people, and he gets his throat slit in a pretty graphic way.
I mean, it was like, yeah.
Like they just killed him straight up. And then he wakes up in like the wall. Like it was like but the whole like thing with his throat was like split open, and it was like, I don't know, the makeup was like the little bit of gore that they had, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
So and it wasn't overly, like
Yeah.
rot. But so Hub is a bounty hunter. He was a musician. He's got a kid. He's still obsessed with his ex-wife Marianne, who she was played by Jennifer Nettles, who is like a country singer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which, I mean, like, she had a pretty amazing voice.
Yeah, she did. Okay.
So it also stars Beth Grant as Mama Bear, aka Kitty Halloran. And like we mentioned at the top, Damon Harriman. Did you know he's Australian?
Who?
Damon Harriman.
I
Lucky.
did not know that.
I'm right now years old finding that out.
I'm right now years old.
So Maxwell Jenkins as Cade, and then Jolie Purdy as Pidge, and then they don't have or Midge. Sorry, as Midge. Jodie Purdy as Midge. Midge was a low key underrated character, by the way.
Yes.
Midge's origin story was probably my favorite episode.
Yeah, that was a good origin story. I really the thing I like, and again, just for history's sake,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we joke about the whole brimstone thing, which by the way, going back to what you said, this is a show I just turned on Amazon Prime one time, like when the week it came out, and watched the trailer and like, okay, I'm down for this. But Brimstone, it's very similar, and like you say, Reaper, it's where a character goes to hell, and he's tasked with killing demons that have escaped hell.
Right.
That's basically, man, I wish Brimstone would have gotten like 113 episodes,
God, that'd
because
been
I
amazing.
think that's how many that.
Yeah, there were 100. It only got 13, so it was 100 short.
Yeah, right. Just a bit outside.
It was so close. So they almost
Yeah.
had it. Anyway. Yeah, I liked the show a lot. I found it to be I just found it to be very like inoffensive, and at the same time very much just something I enjoyed watching.
And the fact is, like you said, the episodes are 30 minutes long at most. So it gets through things, and the way it connects, with episodes 1 through 8, like the backstory of the characters. We get these backstories, and we have this thing, hanging over, Hub's head, wondering like, okay, what did you do to, get sent down into the basement?
Right.
And we find, and
eventually.
yeah, we find out, but it's like we don't find out right away. And then when we get to the flashback of how that all actually happened, I really like the way they put the story together, and how we got piecemeal, like especially like you were talking about with Midge. I think we don't get her story until episode, what, 5? Was it 5?
Yeah, episode 5.
So, wondering like, how's this woman involved with all of this? Like what? And then you get what happened. You're like, oh, we see how that happened. And I don't want to give anything away. I will say, because we both watch, a lot of genre television, and again, I'm a Supernatural guy. One of my favorite all-time shows. So it had a lot of vibes with story beats of Supernatural, especially the way it ended.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I saw how it was going to end. It's like, okay, Supernatural would do this. And it does exactly that, but it's great because I haven't heard anything yet because it's only been out, a few weeks.
Yeah.
I really want to see this show get another season. Hey, if you have multiple seasons, I don't care, but at least a second season, because I really want to see how they're going to move forward with this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm interested in them moving forward. I'm hopeful that it's going to get the second season. I don't see why it wouldn't. But again, I don't know anybody else who's watched this other than us.
Well, I will say this though, like for the last 2 weeks, when you turn on Amazon, it's always been in the top 2.
Nice. Oh, well, that's a good sign.
So I don't know if it's still up there, but I know like I turned it on a couple days ago. It was like still 1 or 2 still. So I'm like, okay, that's positive.
By the way, while we were talking, I just bought Reaper seasons 1 and 2. So,
where'd you buy that on? Apple.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, on Apple. Apple Snapple. Yeah, it's a good show. Like, you should watch it. You should enjoy it. It's it's probably not a super family friendly show.
It's definitely not. Yeah.
But
you don't want to watch this with the kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still hella fun.
Yeah. I see what you did. Oh yeah, top 10 TV right now. Top 10 TV shows in the U.S. Number one is The Bondsman still,
Sweet.
and then
Sweet,
Reacher is
sweet.
number two.
Yeah, I mean, The Bondsman is definitely better than Reacher. I mean, that show was just hot trash. We hated
And
Reacher. I mean, God, who liked Reacher? Oh, wait, we did. We loved it. We love that show.
yeah, so this is, I mean, what this was like 2 weeks ago running. So this, I, there's no, I don't see there's no way this show doesn't get a second season.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
based
know,
on this,
there's a whole
based on
bunch
the
of
fact
people
that
out there who are like, I can't believe Firefly didn't get another season, even though it was literally 10 episodes of fluff.
yeah,
In 2 episodes of good. Actually, like 4.
Yeah.
I think there were 4 good episodes.
yeah, there was
That's
yeah,
that's
right.
neither here nor there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's as again as you say, I know we haven't. I'm just going with it. Like out of no, you have to say it
Yeah, go
because it
ahead.
doesn't
Why?
sound right with me saying no. I no, no, I don't want to say
Wait,
it
why do I have to say it?
because you always say it.
Okay, fine. So out of 10 deals with the devil, what do you give this one?
I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh,
This was a very fun show
I have
for
a
me.
typo.
Oh,
I was like, wait a second.
I was actually surprised about that too. I was like, okay.
So,
But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I could have gone higher, but I think 7.5 is. I mean, this is one of those very fun shows. It's a show that you can absolutely watch again. And like it's it has some good gore. It has, like you said, it has some it has some some good comedic moments, some serious moments. It's a nice little cornucopia of story
yeah.
and character, and all told with 8 episodes and less than like 30 minutes or less per episode. So really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to them announcing a season 2.
Yes. Agreed. I give it a 7.85 because like there's very few shows that anymore that really catch me and like are what I call binge worthy. Which means I'm gonna sit down and watch like 4 episodes or more. And it was it's good. It's I think it's good. I think it's
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
yeah. It was definitely just one of those things that it was just a lot of fun.
See, Amazon, you can do shows like this. Stop just absolutely butchering shows like properties like Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Those shows have been those stories have been butchered. I mean, absolutely butchered. But then you have a Reacher, you have a Terminal List, you have a show like this. You have Invincible the last 2 seasons. You do a good job a lot of times. It's just get it together with some of these fantasy shows.
Right. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, anything else you want to add?
Oh, no.
We busted through
No,
this
I don't think
episode.
so.
We're at 48 minutes.
Yeah.
We talked a lot.
Hey,
We talked a lot this week. We said a lot of words in a short amount of time. Anyway. So yeah, just let us know if you like listening to our AI voices that we have going on right now, and that's your big fear. Your big fear is I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, I can't record this week, and you're gonna see a new episode come out, and you're gonna hear your voice, and be like, wait a second,
and then you'll say something, but then you'll say something like armed with his cowboy instincts, and I'm like, this is not Brian.
yeah. So, okay. So I've been I trained, I think, did I tell everybody about this? I think I did, that I trained ChatGPT. So I had it write the intro paragraph this week for me. And it says Daredevil. So this week on the Infamous podcast, Daryl and Brian closed the chapter on Daredevil Born Again Season 1. And it's a choice. I did not tell it anything to say about it. I just said, this is what we're talking about. Please write me an intro paragraph, and it put my little snark in there automatically. Dude, what happens if I wake up one day and there's like a robot Brian, like just to replace me?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Brian charges in with a tactical breakdown of warfare where the explosions were loud and the film was Intense City. What? I didn't even see that before.
I added the I like so when Carlo and I walked out, he said, "What did you think?" I said, "It's intensities, like Wayne from Wayne's World." So
okay,
like,
that is
So I changed I changed that a little bit, but
okay. I was about to say like if they okay, but it's a choice thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because I mean that's something I say. Anyway, all right. On that note, we will see you all later. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week. Back to our probably regularly scheduled Tuesday.
Definitely talk about WrestleMania.
Oh, it's going to be the WrestleMania extravaganza. So,
because we don't have any shows, do we? We're done with Daredevil.
Yeah.
So it'll be WrestleMania.
We're going to talk about how Seth Rollins like curb stomped CM Punk's face into a steel stairs, and how Cody Rhodes beat John Cena.
Yeah. Well, we might want to go still do Wednesday because we want to talk about the first 3 episodes of Andor, right?
No. So that means I would have to watch the first 8 episodes of Andor?
No. The first season was 12.
12 episodes of Andor.
I'm joking.
How many episodes were in season 1 of Andor?
12. So I think 12.
I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think like 12. Or 13. Was it 13? I thought it was 12.
12 episodes.
Okay.
The second and final season also has 12 episodes.
Yeah. And so I'll be watching it, but I don't think I'll be able to. I'll keep the audience abreast of what's going on with Andor.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to watch the first 12 episodes. Probably.
Well, like, I know they just posted on Disney the Plus, like a recap of season 1.
Yeah.
So they are releasing 3 episodes every week, which I don't get
so
why they're
it's
doing
going to be
that
done
way.
in a month. Well, I mean, because they're desperate for people to watch it because nobody watched it the first time.
No, nobody did.
The whole reason it's back is because it was a critical darling.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, this is going to happen with a lot of with the Star Wars and Marvel because of the shit that has come before. It doesn't matter. Again, you can be good all you want, and there's going to obviously be exceptions, like Spider-Man No Way Home because it's Spider-Man. Hello.
And it had Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man coming back to play Spider-Man again.
Yes, right.
And that other guy.
But the thing is, you continue to do this shit. The other guy, Disney, and you're wondering why people aren't going in. Like I just saw a video today, and like the prognostication is that and again, I'm semi excited for the Thunderbolts because it reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy, like that type of humor and that type of camaraderie.
Wait,
but I think it's gonna. Yes.
You have to come watch it with me then. I'm not gonna.
Well, I was about to say, or I can do. Or I can do a mini review.
No.
But this is the thing.
If you want to review it, you got to come watch the movie with me because it's been forever.
This is
too long.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think that movie's gonna bomb.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, it definitively for me looks better than the Brave New World or whatever. Sure. It looks so much better. But I still think it's gonna bomb.
Did Brave New World come out already?
It just came out Tuesday but that's on streaming. It's not on Plus yet.
No, but I mean, it was already in the theater. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot
it came out in
like
February, bro.
What?
Yeah.
February.
Came out in February.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Where have we been?
Yeah.
Where did the time go?
it fell off the map. That's what happened.
Anyway, Black Mirror's back. We should talk about Black Mirror next week.
Oh yes,
So,
Black Mirror.
The Peter Capaldi episode is amazing.
I should be done.
There's only 6. The problem is that USS Callister episode is 90 minutes long.
90 minutes?
Yeah.
So,
anyway. All right. We're going to go. We'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
See ya.
The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Daryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/Infamous Podcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.